What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and yeah, as you can see from the numbers right there, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania didn't do any better this weekend than it did on the previous weekend. Right now, this guy, Luis Fernando, kind of covers the box office stuff on Twitter. If you like the box office, give him a follow. He comes out with some good numbers. But yeah, as you can see right here, allied to 186.8 million in the U.S., all right? It got past the global cume of 419 million, and the box office right now eyeing a 470 million to 510 million global run. Yeah, that's not good, okay? That's not good at all, because this thing costs $200 million to make. So if that's all it's going to make in the global box office, it's going to be a big fat loss, okay? They're going to lose a ton of money on this thing. I mean, you know, I don't know why he got them sitting in this picture full of money. Maybe this is the amount of money that they're about to lose, okay? That they just got through burning up on this film. But yeah, the Quantumania numbers are not good whatsoever. Not for Marvel, not for the outset of phase 5. Phase 5 is where they're supposed to say, hey, put phase 4 behind us. We're done with phase 4, okay? It's on to phase 5, baby. We're about to make great movies. We got a big villain named Kang. He's gonna just destroy everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Come on and watch. And nobody's checking this thing out. This thing is absolutely getting crushed and cremated, okay? And it's not just that people aren't going to watch it, okay? It's that people are going to see like Cocaine Bear over this thing, right? Or even Creed 3, which I expected Creed 3 to do pretty decently, okay? But it overperformed this weekend, probably because, hey, everybody thought people were going to go and see Ant-Man. Nope, they were wrong. And then this is the numbers you can see from the global market. China, only $36 million. Like, you know, Marvel was expecting this thing to do somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 85 to 95 to $100 million. They expected this thing to do bigger numbers, okay, in China. Like, and I'm going to show y'all something in a minute about that. But this thing is not making money anywhere. UK only 20 million, Mexico only 16 million. Like, this is it? This is as good as it gets right now for phase 5? Marvel has to be upset about this. They have to be. Yeah, Creed 3 sets a franchise record with a huge $58 million debut. And there's Jonathan Majors, who was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I guarantee you he's going to be talking about this movie a lot more than he's talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's going to be discussing Creed from here on out, okay? Because this thing was a successful movie. Only cost $75 million to make. It already has cracked over $100 million in the box office. So look, it only needs about $188 million to make its money back and then some. I have a feeling Creed 3 is going to definitely make its money back. And in the meantime, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania's shrinking box office returns may signify the franchise's lowest earner. Imagine this thing comes in lower than the original Ant-Man, which only made like about $500 million or so, okay? And it's looking like that's about to happen, that this thing will not get to $500 million at all right? And it mentions, yeah, it opened up big, but its shrinking box office returns over the past couple of weeks may signify the lowest earner in the Ant-Man franchise. Let's go ahead and check this out. This is on comicbookmovie.com. So it says, after a strong opening, Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania suffered the biggest second week drop in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the Peyton Reed directed treacle has taken another hit in its third weekend on general release. Marvel's first phase 5 movie took in 12 million at the domestic box office, a 61% decline from last weekend. As things stand, Ant-Man 3 could finish its global run of just under or over $500 million, which would make it the lowest earner of the franchise. That has got to be embarrassing right now for Marvel, for Disney, for Kevin Feige. This is just embarrassing, okay? There's no other way to put it. This is a flat out embarrassment. You're on phase 5, all right? And you're supposed to be just churning out bigger and bigger films. This was the film that was supposed to kick off phase 5, introduce Kang as the big bad, the major villain. Kevin Feige called it like an Avengers level film, all right? This ain't no Avengers level film, bro. This is one of the worst movies, not only in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's history, all right, but one of the worst movies in terms of just its performance in the box office. Like, its performance in the box office is just horrible right now. Some analysis have been trying to put a positive spin on these numbers, but there's no getting away from how disappointing this performance is. Many major studio blockbusters tend to be critic-proof, but that hasn't proven to be the case for the MCU films. Eternals also underperformed, with negative reviews and poor word of mouth clearly impacting ticket sales. And yeah, you can see the numbers right here, 186.8 pretty much on the domestic side, $419 million on the worldwide side. I mean, this thing is just absolutely destroyed. And when you look at the drops every day, like all of these drops are huge, okay? Nothing under 56%. Like 56% is the smallest drop from week to week. Like, people are just not coming back to see this thing. They're done with it. And then when you get to these weekend over weekend drops, I mean, you're talking about like, oh, damn near 70%. And then 61 to follow it up, all right? It's losing theaters, right? It's down 520 theaters. They're probably going to kick this thing out of even more theaters. Like, hey, let's get this movie ain't making money no more. Let's get this thing up out of here, all right? Let's move in some other stuff that's probably going to make money. And I mean, like next weekend, you got like Scream, you got that 65 movie or whatever that's going to be. All right. That's going to command a lot of attention in the theater. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ant-Man and the Wasp doesn't even get past like $4 or $5 million. I would not be shocked whatsoever to see it didn't crank out any money in the box office. And this thing is going to be out of there. Okay. Disney's probably just going to be like, you know what, let's just fast track this to Disney Plus and let's see if we can maybe get some people to, you know, subscribe or whatever. You know, oh, we got the new Ant-Man movie on Disney Plus. Come and subscribe to Disney Plus, as if people don't already have it. I don't know what's going to happen with this thing, but it is absolutely looking dreadful for Marvel right now and Phase 5 as a whole. And this one really has to hurt because Marvel and Disney worked like hell to get back into China, right? Like they were booked in overtime, bending over backwards. And now look, Marvel superhero films no longer earning big at the China box office. And it talks about it right here. Recent Marvel superhero films, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, have been struggling to win over Chinese moviegoers as they contributed only 2.3%. And that's 2.3% of this $2 billion that the China box office has made, okay? They're only bringing in like 2.3% of that. So that tells you right away, China's not messing with Marvel no more. And it seems like the general audience in the domestic markets in America and Canada, they're not messing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe like they used to. So you got to start wondering what's going to happen with this thing. Guardians is going to be fine, okay? I have no doubts in mind at all. People like that movie. People like that film series. People like those characters, okay? They like James Gunn, all right? So I have no doubts that Guardians of the Galaxy is going to make its money back and it's going to do just fine in the box office, okay? But now you start looking ahead to the Marvels. What's the Marvels going to do, okay? They don't have a king that, you know, Kevin Feige is just waving the big, hey, you got to watch this guy. This is the big bad in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. You got to pay attention to this guy. You got to watch this guy. This is the big bad. Don't you want to see what he's all about? The sad part is, yeah, you put him in the movie and then you killed him. It's like, oh, who is this wimp? You know, this guy's a chump. Whatever. You know, they just messed this thing all the way up. But they've been doing that since Phase 4. As I keep saying, Kevin Feige got lucky. He's not the genius everybody thinks he is, okay? Because they dropped $200 million on this movie, and it's not even going to get close. Not even close to making its money back. But anyway, folks, what do you think about this situation? Marvel in dire straits. Not making money in China no more. Definitely not bringing in the same kind of money they used to bring in the States. All right. I don't know where they're going to go with this, but they better figure it out quick. Anyway, go ahead. Give me your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.